Hey, this is Ike. I'm making my second video for PokerSavvyPlus.com. Today I'm going to be playing 4 tables of 6 max 2-4 no limit. My last video was 9-handed 1-2, so this is going to be a pretty different game. Well, we had an interesting hand right off the bat there. The Queen-9 suited in the big blind against the cutoff open and button call. If the button had had a slightly bigger stack, I would have been more inclined to play my hand for either a re-raise or a call. Queen-9 suited is a hand you can sort of do both there. It's very marginal for a call, which also makes it a good hand to consider re-raise semi-bluffing with. But with the shorter stack there on the button, if I re-raise, I'm just going to get it all in pre-flop against the button a huge percentage of the time that the first guy folds, and Queen-9 suited is just not strong enough to do that, even though this guy is a really loose, ridiculous player. I have a bunch of stats on my opponents in these games, even though I don't play much 2-4 myself. I'm playing on the computer of a friend who has put in a bunch of hands in these games, and so I've got numbers on a lot of people. So that'll be good, because I definitely take people's stats into account to a large extent in my own play, and that's something that might not come across necessarily in the videos I do, since I'm usually playing in games that I wouldn't play in on my own. King-Queen against a lot of players I would call, but against an unknown I fold. Aces, this is a clear re-raise. I'd never call here, and I think re-raising just 4 times the open is totally fine. A lot of players re-raise bigger there, and I used to make it more like 5x there when there was an open and a cold call. But lately I've been making it only 4, and I think it's actually pretty good, because the second player generally doesn't have a very strong hand there, and he's not going to call, even though he's getting offered a pretty good price. And then there's this interesting sort of pressure put on the first player, because there's the second player behind him, and if he flat calls that small re-raise, the other player's going to come in behind him, and he's going to be stuck between me, with probably a strong hand, and the other player with a wide range that can hit any flop pretty hard some of the time. So even though it's a small raise, it tends to put people in bad spots, and generally, if you can raise small and get away with it, it's better, because it lets you bluff cheaper.